Why my government banned my marriage? This question haunts me every time I step out into the golden courtyards of the palace. Every time I see the flags rising above the walls. Every time the sound of my own people's voices reaches me. They call me their prince, their future king, the blood that carries their history. But what they do not see is that I am also a man who bleeds like them, who loves like them, who dreams like them. They forget that under the crown is a heart that does not bend to borders or laws or decrees written by old men in their chambers. And yet, those same laws, those same traditions, have placed a chain around my life, dictating whom I can love, whom I can touch, whom I can call mine. They banned my marriage not because it was wrong but because it was too real, too raw, too powerful for the fragile image they wanted me to uphold. They say I cannot marry you because you were not born into a family that carries the right name, the right titles, the right blood. They speak of alliances, of political unions, of treaties that can be secured if I wed someone of their choosing. To them, love is a transaction, a bargaining chip placed on the table where kingdoms trade daughters for power. But what they don't understand is that love cannot be measured in gold, cannot be signed into contracts, cannot be broken into conditions. My love for you does not care for their thrones, for their maps, for their crowns. My love for you is a rebellion that has no boundaries, and that terrifies them more than any enemy at their gates. The truth is, they are not banning a marriage, yet they are trying to erase a story. They are afraid of what it will mean if I choose you over them, if I choose my heart over their laws. Because then, the world will see that the crown they worshipped was never stronger than the pulse of a man's heart. They are afraid that the people will rise, not for the throne, but for love. They are afraid of the example we will set, that a prince can defy tradition, that he can choose a woman for her soul, not for her surname, that he can place his kingdom in her hands, not because she was born to rule, but because she was born to be his. That truth is too dangerous for them to accept. So instead, they hide behind decrees, they hide behind rules. They call it honor, they call it duty, but it is fear. Nothing more. Every day I stand in front of the mirror, and I see two men staring back at me. One is the prince they raised, polished, molded into their perfect image, the man who bows at ceremonies, who nods at every tradition, who smiles with lips that taste like lies. The other is the man I truly am, the one who thinks of you when the halls fall silent, the one who dreams of your hand in mine even as advisors whisper about alliances, the one who would burn every law written before me, if it meant hearing your laughter echo in these empty walls. That man is the truth. That man is the one they fear. And so, I carry this burden not as a king, not as a prince, but as a man in love. They can ban my marriage, but they cannot ban the way my chest tightens when I see you, the way my voice softens when I speak your name, the way my soul belongs to you even when I am dressed in robes of duty. They cannot ban the way my heart beats for you, and one day, that beat will be louder than every law they tried to write against us. They built these walls around me, and called it a palace, but to me, it feels like a prison made of gold. Every chandelier, every marble column, every guarded gate is a reminder of the life they chose for me long before I could even speak. They gave me a crown, but in return, they stole my freedom. And yet, in the quiet corners of the night, when the world falls silent, I allow myself the forbidden thought of what it would mean to walk away from all of this for you. To leave behind centuries of tradition, legacies carved into history, names written in stone, all for the chance to hold your hand without fear. That is the kind of love you gave me, one that makes kingdoms feel small, and thrones feel meaningless. The council calls me reckless, blinded, unfit to rule because of you. They see love as a weakness, as a distraction that bends kings to their knees. What they fail to realize is that you have made me stronger than I have ever been. Before you, I was merely surviving, performing my role, bowing to expectations, wearing a mask of duty that never truly belonged to me. But you tore away the mask. You taught me to feel with honesty, to see beyond duty, to brave without fear. And that terrifies them. Because a man who has nothing to lose is dangerous, but a man who has someone he loves more than his throne, he is unstoppable. They cannot control me anymore, not when my heart has already chosen its own destiny. Every time I stand before them, listening to their endless speeches of alliances, their calculations of power, their warnings of scandal, I wonder do they not see how hollow their world. A marriage of politics is nothing but a contract. It may bring treaties, it may secure wealth, but it will never bring life to these empty halls. They want me to stand beside someone chosen for me, someone I cannot love, and smile, as if I am whole. But how can I, when I know the truth of what love feels like? How can I vow my eternity to a stranger when I have already given my soul to you? To do so would not only be it would be a betrayal to everything that makes me human. I fear nothing more than the thought of you standing outside these gates, watching me marry someone else, watching me bow to their will, watching me betray what we have. That image alone has become my greatest torment. It would be easier for me to abandon the throne, to walk into exile, to let history call me a coward, than to live a single day as king without you by my side. Because a crown may sit upon my head, but without you, my heart would be nothing more than ashes. They think they can ban our marriage, but in truth, what they are trying to ban is my happiness, my truth, my humanity. And that I cannot allow. So I wait, torn between the man they raised and the man you awakened. Every step I take in this palace is heavy, but every thought of you is light. I do not know how long I can endure this war between love and duty, but I know this love has already won inside me. No decree, no council, no government can change that. And one day, whether I wear this crown or not, I will stand before the world and claim you as mine. Not because tradition allowed it, not because power permitted it, but because my heart demanded it. Every morning I wake, and force myself into the armor of royalty, smiling at the endless line of faces, who bow not to me, but to the weight of the crown. They think I am theirs to command, a puppet draped in silk, but they will never understand how much of me already belongs to you. When they whisper laws in my ear, when they pen decrees forbidding our union, they believe they are protecting the throne from scandal. What they cannot see is that in protecting the throne, they are destroying the man who wears it. For what is a crown worth if it silences a heartbeat beneath it? What is a legacy worth if it denies me the right to love freely? Sometimes, when the palace falls into silence, I close my eyes, and imagine a world where we are not bound by these invisible chains. A world where your ladder fills these hollow corridors, where I do not have to glance over my shoulder before holding you. In that dream, there are no decrees, no ministers, no council. There is only you and me, unbroken, untamed, and free. And yet when I open my eyes, I am here again trapped in this kingdom that values appearances more than souls. That is the cruelty of my reality. They have taken something sacred, love, and turned it into a weapon of politics. But I am not blind to their fear. They know that a marriage born of love is stronger than one bound by treaties. They know that if I choose you, I am choosing a path that cannot be controlled, a future they cannot script. That is why they resist, why they ban, why they cloak their commands in the language of duty. But duty is not what keeps a kingdom alive, it is hope, it is loyalty. It is the fire that burns in the hearts of its people. And what greater hope could there be than a king who chooses love over power? They are afraid of that example. Afraid of a king who defies centuries of chains. Afraid of a ruler who dares to show he is human. I wonder how long I can walk this line, half bound to them, half bound to you. Every day stretches me thinner, every moment makes the choice clearer. For I know the truth, even if I do not speak it aloud. I would rather lose 1,000 crowns than lose the warmth of your hand in mine. Let them call me reckless. Let them name me traitor to tradition. History will judge me one day, but you will hold my truth. And in the end, I would rather be remembered as the king who gave up everything for love than as the ruler who lived a lie. They think that by denying me the right to choose, they can bend my will and make me their perfect heir. What they do not understand is that love is not a distraction, nor is it a weakness. It is the only reason I still endure the crushing weight of their expectations. Every law they write against me, every whispered warning in council halls, every attempt to bind me to a bride chosen for alliances, only pushes me closer to defiance. Because in the silence of my heart, I know one thing with the certainty that no crown, no council, No law can erase you are the only truth I cannot betray. I have watched their eyes when they speak of you. Some look at me with pity, others with disdain, as though loving you is a flaw I should be ashamed of. They speak of responsibility, as though my humanity must be sacrificed at the altar of duty. They believe they are saving the kingdom, but what they are really doing is destroying its soul. For a nation without love, without compassion, without the courage to honor truth, is nothing more than a prison gilded in gold. If they strip me of you, what is left of me to give them? A hollow king perhaps, but not a leader. When the nights are long, and sleep refuses to come, I walk the palace halls, empty and echoing, haunted by the thought of you beyond these walls. I think of how different life could have been if I had been born a common man, free to choose, free to fight only for the woman who holds my heart. Would I trade the crown for that life? Without hesitation. For every jewel in this crown is a chain. Every oath I swore to them a knife pressed against my own chest. Yet even in the suffocation, it is you who keeps me breathing. The memory of your voice, the warmth of your touch, the fire in your gaze, these are my rebellion, my quiet wars against their tyranny. One day they will see me stand before them, and choose not their version of duty, but mine. They will rage, they will threaten, they will brand me reckless, unfit, disloyal to the traditions they worship more than truth. But I will not bend. Because a king without love is no king at all. A man who rules while silencing his heart is not leading a nation, he is merely preserving a throne. And I will not be remembered as that kind of ruler. If my reign costs me you, then my reign is already worthless.